With this little box and about 10 minutes of setup, you can have full-on CarPlay working in your Tesla right now. And I highly recommend you don't do it. It's actually not that great. We'll get into that in a second. This is the CarLinkit T2C adapter. You can get it for about $70, and through a hacky system of hotspotting to your phone and connecting your Tesla to the Wi-Fi network this puts off, yes, you can have CarPlay. And as much as I love CarPlay and testing this for the past week, I've tried to give it a benefit of the doubt, but it might not be worth it. So when you order the CarLinkit, you get this little box and 2 cables, USB-C to USB-C, USB-C to USB-A. And to install it, it's a fairly simple process. It does not need to connect to any kind of data port in your Tesla. Just connect this box to the USB-A or USB-C port in your car for power. That's all it needs. And this little box puts off a Wi-Fi network that you would be connecting your Tesla to. So you do need to go to your Tesla Wi-Fi settings, search for this, connect to it. The password is like the number 8, 6 or 8 times, something like that. And you connect to the Wi-Fi. That's step 1. I also know that my screen has tons of fingerprints and it's disgusting. I apologize. Which, by the way, you do need to go to the Wi-Fi setting in your Tesla and uncheck the box that says disconnect when in drive, because it needs to stay connected to the Wi-Fi network the whole time. Once you have your Tesla car connected to this Wi-Fi network, then you pull out your iPhone, turn on hotspot, and you have to pair with this device over Bluetooth. So this is getting data from your iPhone's Bluetooth connection. That's also how it's going to be connecting to wireless CarPlay. And yes, it is using your hotspot the entire time. You can also get a version of this little box with a SIM card slot, but yeah, I didn't do that. Once this device is hotspotting to your phone over Bluetooth and then connected to your Tesla Wi-Fi network, once all that is set up, you open the web browser on your Tesla, yes, the browser application, and you go to the website testpush.com. Once you go to that website, if everything's connected properly, CarPlay should just appear. Or you might see a settings screen, and more on that in a second. But once that website loads, it's full-on CarPlay. You can get your text messages, play your podcasts, maps and directions, all right there, like it's a CarPlay display. And even though it's doing a wireless display from your iPhone to this, and then in a web browser, responsiveness is actually decent. It's not as fast as it could be, but it's not unusably slow. You can use the touchscreen like normal, and it was fine. But that's where the positives kind of end. It's wireless CarPlay, it works okay. But there's a bunch of caveats. Namely, you also have to have your phone Bluetooth connected to your Tesla for audio. Can't send audio to this and then to the car, so your phone still needs to be connected to your Tesla over Bluetooth for audio playback and microphone. If you do that, yes, you can play music from CarPlay and use the Pocket Cast app. You can also use the steering wheel control to activate voice commands. And if you get a text message, it'll read it out loud through the car's stereo system. But the CarPlay can be a little janky too. I have an older Model S, a 2013, which is about 11 years old right now. I did a whole video on buying that car and my experience. You can check it out above. And I'll be chronicling any future adventures with the Tesla here on the channel, so be sure to subscribe. But with the vertical style screen in the older Tesla Model S, if you expand the web browser to be full screen, it becomes a horrific nightmare. CarPlay is not designed to actually format to that taller screen, so everything just gets stretched out and looks terrible. So I keep it in that half screen view, and then most of the time you basically have a map on the top half, Tesla's Google Map behind it, and then CarPlay in the lower half. That's kind of weird. Now, getting in and out of the car, I did find it auto-launched pretty decently, so once everything got connected and I actually drove away from the house, so it disconnected from my house Wi-Fi, it would load up fine. You do have to manually open the browser every time you get in the car. But the biggest problem with this little box, CarPlay just disconnects all the time. Over and over as I'm driving, it goes back to the settings screen. I'm not sure if it's losing connection with my phone or losing connection with the web browser, but it just keeps going to the settings screen like a lot. And I just have to tap either refresh page or tap home, and then it'll load back into CarPlay. It seems like CarPlay is constantly running in the background because the maps are still going, directions, audio will still play, but on the actual display, it just goes to the settings screen all the time, and it's really annoying. And I'm not 100% sure why this thing needs to hotspot to my phone for data. It's really just wirelessly getting my iPhone display and then broadcasting it to the car. That shouldn't need to send data anywhere else. So there is a privacy security question there, and overall I just decided to stop using this. The disconnecting from the CarPlay was annoying enough, and not sure what it's doing with the data and hotspot. I decided to stop using it and just go with the Tesla screen and software. Which, by the way, I've been using it for over a month now, and honestly, the Tesla software is fine. Obviously, maps and directions, you're going to get things like battery percentage and charging stations, which you don't get in CarPlay, and connecting my iPhone via Bluetooth to the car is fine. I did start using the Apple Music built-in application, and Apple Podcast is also built in, but I found it does not sync very reliably to my Apple Podcast account. So I can play a podcast in the car, but the timestamp doesn't really sync and the up next queue doesn't sync. Apple Podcasts doesn't do that well anyway. So I still use my phone when I'm listening to podcasts, and I'll just play Pocket Casts. I can start it from my watch or my phone. I still get the chapter and episode artwork on the dashboard of the Tesla, so that's cool, and it looks fine on the screen. Now don't get me wrong, I still miss CarPlay. I had a Carpuride screen that I used for many years with my Kia Soul. Loved having it there. Using Apple Maps, knowing all the directions and my contacts and frequent locations was great. But I will say Tesla can also sync with your calendar, so it can pull up the address to your next event, and that's all built into the system. And I haven't synced my text messages yet, although there is a feature where you can have your text messages go through your car and supposedly respond back. If you have that set up in your Tesla, let me know how that works with an iPhone and iMessage and all that. I've just been a little leery of doing it just yet, but if it's worthwhile, I'll turn that on too. I wish and hope that third-party app makers like Pocket Cast can actually have an app built into the Tesla. I imagine that's possible if they make one. And if Pocket Cast was there on the Tesla software, I would really have almost no desire for CarPlay. I still prefer Apple Maps. I did a whole video on Google Maps versus Apple Maps about a year ago, and I just prefer everything about it, from the design of Apple Maps to the directions it actually gives. It's great, but I'll use the Tesla directions just fine. So if you just cannot stand the Tesla software and you really want CarPlay in your Tesla, it is possible. You can get one of these little boxes. I don't make any commission if you buy it, so the link will be down in the description if you want. Be leery, it is glitchy. It's going to be going to that settings screen often. Not exactly sure what it's doing with that data hotspot connection, but it's possible. You can do it. It's pretty simple to set up, but to be honest, I would not recommend it. I'm just going to stick with the Tesla built-in software, and maybe one day it'll support CarPlay. Probably not. Like I said, you could follow along with my Tesla adventures, but also all the updates to iOS 18, the iPhone 16 Pro, ton of videos on the channel, so be sure to subscribe. Even more are coming, especially leather case reviews for the iPhone 16. As you can see, I have a bunch of cases, and that video is coming very soon. It might already be up on the channel, but again, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. If you have any questions about this device, iOS 18, iPhone 16, leave comments below this video. And I'll leave my vlog about buying an 11-year-old Tesla. That video is right up here. And YouTube really thinks you'll like this video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.